Hello everyone. Welcome back to Jikook Diaries, a space where every smile, whisper, and glance between Jimin and Jungkook becomes more than just a moment. It's proof of their unspoken love, or rather, it's obvious to those who truly see it. Today, we'll explore a special moment when Jimin's presence made Jungkook unable to hide his feelings, when he so honestly and sincerely confessed his love. It all started with a small intimacy that often occurred between them. Jimin, with a soft smile and a calming presence, approached Jungkook. Words weren't needed, because Jimin's mere presence was enough to change Jungkook's world. The usually lively and energetic Jungkook suddenly became calmer. His gaze softened, his voice deepened, and his body language seemed to say one thing: "You mean everything." Whenever Jimin was near, there was an indescribable aura, as if time slowed down, and the space belonged only to the two of them. We can see it in the way Jungkook looks at him, as if all doubts have vanished and all that's left is a deep sense of security. In one of those candid moments captured vividly, the camera captures Jungkook with Jimin in a warm, intimate setting. They chuckle, glance at each other, and share light conversation. Then, the moment comes. Jungkook gazes at Jimin with meaningful eyes, and from his lips come words that make time stop for all who watch them. "I love you." There's no joking, no laughter afterward, just silence and sincerity. It wasn't a scripted moment. It wasn't fan service. It was a genuine, human moment where someone can no longer hold back their feelings. And how Jimin responded, that's where the magic happens. Jimin doesn't say anything at the time, but the look in his eyes says it all. His smile slowly widens, and he simply gazes at Jungkook with a look of love and understanding. It wasn't an ordinary smile. It was the smile of someone who knows that the feeling is real. No drama, no nervousness, just a sense of belonging that doesn't need validation from anyone. Jimin may not have answered with words, but he responded with his heart. Jikook's relationship has always been shrouded in mystery, as they both chose to protect it. But beneath it all, we see an honesty that can't be hidden. Jungkook doesn't need to declare his love on a grand stage. He just needs a small moment, when Jimin is close enough, real enough, warm enough, to make him feel safe enough to share his feelings. But perhaps what truly makes that moment unforgettable isn't just the words, "I love you." It's the silence that followed. The kind of silence that doesn't feel awkward but sacred. Because sometimes, love doesn't scream, it breathes. That day, as Jimin leaned a little closer, time didn't just slow, it melted. You could see Jungkook's breath catch for a split second. His fingers, which were casually resting, subtly curled as if his body was reacting instinctively to the overwhelming presence beside him. That, right there, is the poetry of love, the body's quiet confession. And what followed wasn't a dramatic embrace or an exaggerated reaction. It was a moment that only people who have truly felt something real would recognize. Jungkook held Jimin's gaze. He didn't rush to look away. He didn't hide. And in that gaze, in those soft eyes and in that pause, he said more than words ever could. People often underestimate how powerful silence can be, especially when it comes to Jikook. Because within their silences, there's a language only they seem to understand. A shared world built not on big declarations, but on trust, presence, and something far deeper than we can name. For instance, remember that interview moment when they were asked to name someone who always makes them feel calm and at home? Jungkook didn't even hesitate, he looked at Jimin. Just one glance, one silent acknowledgement. And Jimin smiled, not surprised, but knowing. As if this truth had already been established long ago between them, and now the world was simply catching up. Their love is quiet, but unshakable. Like a lighthouse, it doesn't chase ships, but it stands strong and always brings them home. In the days that followed the moment of Jungkook's quiet confession, fans started noticing how their interactions subtly shifted. There was more ease, more natural closeness. Jimin resting his hand longer on Jungkook's arm. Jungkook leaning into Jimin during group interviews. And most of all, that warm, unfiltered laughter they shared like two people who had finally stopped hiding. There's something magnetic about their connection. It's not always what they say, but how they exist around each other. The way Jimin instinctively knows when Jungkook's feeling anxious, offering a light touch on the shoulder or a whispered word, or how Jungkook's face lights up completely, unreservedly when Jimin enters the room. These aren't coincidences. These are love stories written not in scripts but in moments. Let's not forget how often Jungkook talks about Jimin when no one asks. In random live streams, when he suddenly mentions how Jimin helped him that day. When he says, "Jimin Hyung takes care of me more than anyone," and then laughs shyly after as if realizing how much he revealed. And Jimin? He's never far behind in those moments. His expressions when Jungkook speaks are full of admiration and warmth, like someone watching the person they cherish most in the world. What makes their story even more beautiful is how love isn't always expressed in words. Jungkook cooks for Jimin. Jimin adjusts Jungkook's hoodie. They touched each other so naturally. They laughed together even when the world was hard. They were best friends, brothers, and, for many of us, two souls secretly in love. When Jungkook said, "I love you" to Jimin, it wasn't just about romantic love. It was about admiration, comfort, gratitude, and perhaps love in the most honest form we've ever seen. In a world full of speculation and expectation, Jimin and Jungkook prove that love doesn't always have to be shouted. Sometimes, just the presence of someone can make our hearts speak for themselves. And that day, when Jimin was near Jungkook, Jungkook's heart spoke clearly. He loved Jimin, without hesitation, without censorship. Maybe for the world that was too ambiguous. But for them, and for those of us who believe it was enough. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to leave a comment, share your favorite Jikook moment, and hit that subscribe button for more stories of love, connection, and the moments that make us believe all over again. And remember, when Jimin is close, Jungkook doesn't need to say a thing. But when he does, he says it with his whole heart, because he loves him. Thank you for watching Jikook Diaries today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss other profound moments between two souls who always find their way back to each other. Because when love is real, you can't hide it, sound it.